Hey, lore keepers out there. Welcome back to more Mass Effect. We are going to be entering the Normandy here. We got Rex and Tally with us still, but
decontamination in progress.
we're going to be swapping it up.
Are you okay, Commander? You look a little pale.
It's that damn cipher. That Asari messed you up good. And for what? We still don't know where to find the stupid conduit. What a waste.
The cipher is going to lead us to the conduit. I'm just not sure how yet.
We still have another lead, Commander. That Asari scientist in the Artemis Tau cluster, the Matriarch's daughter. She's an expert on the Protheans. Maybe she knows something.
Don't worry. We'll deal with her soon enough. Crew dismissed.
I've sent off the Feros report, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Commander, Exogeny should have told us about the Thorian. It would have made your job much easier.
You might have been able to capture it for study instead of destroying it.
Exogeny tried to study it. Look how that turned out.
Perhaps it's for the best then. At least the colony was saved.
Of course it was saved. Shepard would go to any lengths to help a human colony.
Being human had nothing to do with it. They were in trouble.
Admirable. But sometimes Spectres have to make sacrifices. I hope you're willing to do that when the time comes.
Goodbye, Commander. We will be waiting for your next report.
Alright. Paragon +2. Comic. Let's examine that. Another codex page. Very cool. If you explore around a little bit, you find these like random codex pages for all these different devices. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Like there's another one here. So can read about all that stuff later on. I'm not too worried about it. But Presley.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, sir, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
Well, Nihilus got murdered, so...
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
Good.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were one of the first reinforcements to arrive at Elysium after the Blitz hit. Those raiders were no match for an Alliance frigate. Of course, the only reason the colony was still standing was because of you, Commander. I can't believe you held out as long as you did.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Interesting. So Presley was handpicked by Anderson then. That's really cool.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
So now we got some info about him. Nothing else over here. Let's go heat load monitor. We can get that. Very good. Another one. Okay. Sure. Sorry about that cut there. I had an issue with my hard drive being full
hey, Commander,
again.
next time we touch down, let's try not to park the ship in a colony of mutant zombies. Just thinking out loud here.
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
What are you talking about? Are you sick?
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic, but I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you know, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition.
Don't like the way
Nobody
you
knows
said that,
exactly what
but okay.
causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
I'm not going to ask him how he does his job. That's just
I'm not trying
piss
to
him
make you
off.
uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
Nickname.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
I was just thinking how much you remind me of Santa Claus.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
I love that.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy. Even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
Yeah, that should do it for
I have
Joker
to go.
then.
Alright, see ya.
Alright, so let's get that. Another codex page. We already got the one here, okay. So now we're just going to go around Normandy for a little bit and talk to the crew. Down here, we should be able to meet Caden, so I will find him. Not through there. Actually, first I want to go over here. This is actually our bunk now. And if we examine this, then we get a codex page. Very good. So you can't actually really do a whole lot in your room, but it is ours, so... Hey, Caden.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
Alright. Let's label it officially off the record. Got something on your mind?
Straight up, there's something wrong with all of this. This Saren is trading people to aliens for some kind of lost knowledge. But we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids.
It
But
always
that's my
does.
own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner.
Oh,
Besides,
whiner.
I've got my past squared away.
Alright, Caden. Sounds fine then. I guess they have cryopods here as well, which is kind of interesting. When I think of these cryopods, I always think of like Fallout 4's opening. I don't know why, but just for some reason, that's where my mind goes with cryopods. Now, Dr. Chakwas does not have anything new to say. I don't think there's anything back here. Nope, doesn't look like it. So, we are going to take the elevator down now. Because this is where the rest of the crew should be. Is down here, so. Garrus, let's see what you got to say.
Commander, nice work out there. I knew working with a Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
Just do a good job and don't get in my way. We'll get along fine.
Don't worry, Commander. I'll keep clear.
Alright. Sounds like a plan. Let's go talk to Ashley over here, see what she got to say.
You have a minute to talk?
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
Alright. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
Don't mince words, Chief. What's your concern?
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies. We, humanity, I mean, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
Standing up for ourselves doesn't mean standing alone.
I don't think we should turn down allies. I just think we shouldn't bet everything on them staying allies. As noble as the council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
I don't see that as inevitable.
Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
I don't agree with that statement about the dog. I wouldn't sick my dog on the bear. I'd help my dog fight the bear, dang it. Like, come on. I don't just give up like that personally. But anyway.
These seem like deeply held beliefs, Williams. What made you think this way?
My family's defended the Alliance since it was founded. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
All right. I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're going to have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
I don't think kissing Turians will be necessary.
You never know, Commander.
Alright.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Gotta admire those colonials. That's about the worst place for a colony I've ever seen. Given the option, I'd get the hell out of Dodge.
Okay.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, sir.
Does everybody have things to say about the last mission?
How are you?
Oh, we can talk
Why
about
did you want to
CSEC.
be a C-Sec officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it, too. He was C-Sec, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
He's not impressed that you're going after Saren?
My father's a C-Sec man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
Oh, wow.
You were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate. Me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it.
He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
Not all Spectres are like Saren, you know.
Of course not. But Saren's not going to play by our rules, C-Sec's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Yeah?
Don't get caught up in the details, Garrus. We'll find him and then we'll stop him. That's all you need to know.
Okay, I don't know about
Good
that,
point.
but...
Thanks, Commander.
Yeah, you're welcome. I thought that was a little harsh, but I guess he was fine with it. Good. Rex.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Sorry, Rex. I wasn't trying to get you upset.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
So, explain the genophage then.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist?
Fair enough.
You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
Alright, extinction.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Yeah, the genophage is a very big deal in the Mass Effect universe. It is a very large lore plot point that we will be talking about more in the future as well, so don't you worry about it. Engineer Adams,
Hey,
what do you got to say?
Commander, you know that Quarian, Tali? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Stealth systems.
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location.
Yeah.
Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare.
Makes sense.
Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
The Normandy is a super, super cool ship. Anyway.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed, and she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Okay.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Alright, that's everything there then.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Make sure we got everything here. Okay, and let's talk to Tally.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Okay, so tell us about the pilgrimage.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Gotcha.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
The Geth.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input.
Okay.
Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious.
Okay.
But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
So I think I get it, but I'm going to say I don't get it in a second here. But from the sounds of it, basically they share a brain, but they all see differently. And they are their own consciousness, but they can all share information with each other, basically. That's what I'm hearing. I might be wrong on that, but that's what it sounds like to me.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers.
Yeah, okay.
As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
What did you do?
It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
That makes sense.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place. But we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them.
I agree, honestly.
If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
I didn't mean to offend you.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get so worked up. Most Quarians tend to have pretty strong opinions about the Geth.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Speaking of
Tell
Quarians...
me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
Interesting.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole.
Okay.
On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
Okay.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency.
Okay.
To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts.
Oh, wow.
It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Very interesting. Okay.
I should go.
See you later.
I don't know that I've ever actually heard that text before, but anyway, that's super interesting stuff from Tally and the Quarians, so I like that. Alright, so I know this game has a lot of talking, and honestly it's one of the reasons why I love it so much. But we are not going to be... what am I trying to say? Not every video is going to have a bunch of action and all that, you know? Like, sometimes we just have to walk around the Normandy and talk to a bunch of people and get insight on our crew members, and, you know, sometimes videos just have to be that, so... We are going to be doing a little something, though. We've already cleared this area. I want to go down and check out the Hercules area real quick, just to see. So, leaving Feros officially. No more zombies running around, so that's awesome. Took care of that place.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Normandy, this is Alliance Command. We're detecting your presence in the Attican Beta Cluster. One of our surveillance drones was gathering intel on Geth activities in the region when it was spotted and shot down.
Oh.
You need to go groundside and recover the drone's data module before the Geth find it.
Alright. So, that will be on one of these planets then. So, Zaktheron doesn't have anything for us. Can survey Sayadid. So we have the medallion recovered. While scanning Sayadid, you recovered a large debris field in geosynchronous orbit. Chief Engineer Adams conducted several detailed sweeps of the area and detected a few items of interest, including a League of One medallion encased in lead molding. Okay. Interesting. So this is the place we can land on. I want to check out Zatoris as well and survey it. Heavy metal surveyed. While scanning this planet, you detected a large deposit of gold on a nearby moon. Alright. Very cool. So that is this place done. Let's go to Elitania now and land on here. Let's take Ashley, and we just had Rex and Tally come with us last time. Let's do Caden again. It's been a bit. So when you land on planets, you get dropped off in the Mako, or Mako, whatever you want to call it. I go back and forth. And these planets have exploration. So if we pause it and go to the map, you can see we have an anomaly here. So we'll set that as our destination first, because I want to check it out. Ooh, I was trying to press L1 to fast. To boost to fast. Man. So this game has a lot of segments like this. Some planets do tend to look a little bit similar, which is fine. A little bit bland, but it's alright. We will be probably doing everything in all of these planets, so because that's how I like to do these games. That's just me. It's what I do. There is sometimes combat on these, sometimes there isn't. Sometimes there's side quests on these, sometimes there isn't. It just completely depends on the planet, because there's a lot of them that we can explore, so, in a lot of different galaxies. We're almost to this anomaly over here. Trying to Skyrim horse up this mountain, which is a lot of effort. A general rule is that if you see grass on the mountain, you can probably climb up it with just your wheels. If you don't, you're going to have to boost, because you can't get a good gripping otherwise. So, you got to be careful either way, but... Wow, this is really far out here. Ooh, what is that? Looks like a Prothean artifact of some sort, maybe? Yeah, Prothean ruin. Let's recover it and see what it is. Triangle, circle, square, triangle, X. Perfect. Okay, and examine. Examining the strange Prothean artifact reveals a small, irregular slot on the underside. Remembering the strange trinket you received from the Asari consort on the Citadel. Oh, wow. You pull it out and place it into the slot. The ball explodes in a brilliant flash of white light, momentarily blinding and disorienting you. Slowly, your senses return as you wake from a deep sleep. You are alone in the forest, though you are not far from the caves you share with the others of your tribe. There is a pain and a small lump in the back of your skull, as if a chip of flint has been forced under the surface of your skin. Leaning on your bone-tipped spear for support, you rise to your feet. A sound draws your attention upwards, where a strange creature hovers high above you. It is unlike the birds you hunt by the lake's edge. It has no head and no wings, yet somehow it flies. It is a beast of shining silver, hanging motionless in the sky like a cloud. You sense it is watching you, studying you. Weird. Raising a hairy fist, you shake your spear at it in anger, and the creature rises up quickly until it disappears from view. With a satisfied grunt, you make your way back to your caves and the rest of the tribe. So it sounds like, for some reason, we're a caveman and there was a spaceship. Weird. You fall into the familiar patterns of life. The hunt for food, the struggle to claim and keep a mate, the battles against other tribes that would claim your territory. Days roll into nights and back into days. Each time you rise from your sleep, there's a sensation that you are not alone, that some other is with you, sharing all you see, hear, and feel. At these times, your hand goes to the strange lump at the back of your skull, and you remember the silver creature in the sky. The air grows colder, winter falls. You must range farther for food, clutching the furs tight against you to ward off the chill. It is on one of these long hunts that the strange bird returns. You hear it before you see it, its call a deafening roar as it descends from above. Swooping down on you, a single gray eye opens on the underbelly, a glowing red orb. You try to run, but a finger of red light extends from the eye and engulfs you, and all goes black again. You wake an instant later to find yourself on Elatania lying on your back, the Prothean artifact looming above you undamaged, and your companion standing over you. They help you to your feet, puzzled. There was a flash of light and you just sort of toppled over, one explains. Are you okay, Shepard? The other asks. You don't answer right away, wondering at the implications of what you have seen. The memories of a Cro-Magnon hunter captured by an implanted Prothean data recorder. How long did they study the primitive humans, observing them and analyzing the results at their base on Mars? And what, if anything, did they learn from us? I'm fine, you finally reply. realizing this is a mystery you probably will never solve. Forget about it. Trippy. Okay, so that the thing that she gave us, the Asari consort, was how we activated this. That is really interesting. Okay. There's debris here, and there is a downed recon probe here, so that's what we need to get to. Unfortunately for me, there are things on these planets that aren't marked. So, yeah. As someone who has almost 100% of this game before, basically, it's a lot of effort to find everything on these planets, unless you're following like a walkthrough or a guide or something. And, well, I do have something that's going to tell me what all is on these planets, but I'm going to worry about that later, so we'll get there, though. Don't you worry. Okay. Oh, gosh. Getting around this is awful. Oh, no. The Mako can't be injured by fall damage, thankfully. So that's really good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get up here easily. Okay, go here. Perfect. Back up a little bit. Get a start. There we go. Yeah, climbing up mountains in this game, there is an art to it. 100%. Okay, and as you see right over here, there is something not marked on our big map. So, just like I said, that is a mineral deposit. And there are a lot of them in the world, so we are going to be probably finding all of them, or at least close to all of them. I think in order to like complete the mission, you don't have to technically find all of them, so I don't know if we will find them all or not, but doesn't matter. We're just gonna do what we do. Get up there. There we go. Okay, so there it is, right there. I'm gonna land here. Perfect. Survey. Okay. We do get XP for this, though. So, heavy metal surveyed. Large deposit of palladium. So, very, very cool. It has now been added to our area map as well, which is awesome. And let's continue going towards this over here. Yeah, towards the debris. Get up here. You also see it by the radar. It says level 1 hazard. Now, basically what that is it means that this planet does have some sort of hazards, like you can't technically breathe on it without your helmet, but otherwise you can kind of be out of the Mako and be fine no matter what. There are times when even just stepping outside the Mako you will be injured, so you got to be a little bit careful about that sometimes. But here we go. See what we got here. Crashed probe. Electronic skill is too low. Okay. I don't have electronics on my character. Dang it. Okay. Let's do assault training. Maybe. Resets the cooldown times on all your talents so they can be used immediately. That's pretty good. And then weapon damage, perfect. Tactical armor, perfect. Okay. And let's put the rest of points in tactical armor here. Ooh, you have electronics. So let's max out your electronics then. Perfect. And decryption. Let's get you first aid, so then we can get you medicine. And let's get you barrier so we can unlock stasis. And same thing with throw so we can get you lift. Perfect. And now Ashley, you have a bunch of points as well. I'm gonna unlock sniper for you. I don't really have a good sniper as of now. I guess we kind of do, but Let's unlock fitness here. Cool. And let's go for combat armor, get you first aid, assault training, and let's get that combat armor. Oh, so you can equip heavy armor. Okay, that's cool. Perfect. Okay, so now if we leave, and we should be able to salvage this now. Perfect. X, circle, triangle, X, circle, X. Perfect. Let's take those, so that is something I don't have to come back for. Yay! And I saw a thing over here as well. Oh my goodness, the Mako. Just did a backflip on me, but not all the way. I believe we want to go around this over here. So let's work on that. Yep, there it is on the map there. What is that? Legitimately, oh, they're like little monkeys. Okay, I mean, cool. These guys are kind of neat. All right. We will enter this mine, but we are going to do that in the next video. Also, Ashley came out of nowhere. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy... Oh, level 1 hazard actually is... There's a bar going up. Okay, I'm going to end this quick. I hope you enjoy these talking episodes, because I know not a whole lot happened in this one, but sometimes that's just how Mass Effect is. So, thank you all so much for watching. Appreciate you as always, and see you in the next one.